Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Property Management 101, and for today's video, we're going to be discussing tips for those first-time maintenance supervisors part 2. If you've not already done so, please watch the first video on this subject, and I'll include information on this in the video description at the end of the video. In addition to the video link that I'll be providing at the end of this video, as well as in the video description, I'll also be including one now if you want to watch it before watching this video in the top corner of the page now. When you become a maintenance supervisor, there's so many different things that come up that may not be something you've experienced before as a maintenance tech or in another role. So it's really important that you identify some of the most common things that you're going to be addressing as a maintenance supervisor that you may not be addressing before. And this is why I made a part 2 to this video, because there's so many things to cover in this new role for you. I thought it may be helpful to share additional things that come up in this new role for a maintenance supervisor. Here are 3 additional things when it comes to being a maintenance supervisor for the first time that you should be aware of. Number 4, you want to make sure you and your team have a plan and are emergency prepared. So this is going to be really important as you, the supervisor, are preparing the entire staff for those emergencies. When you become a maintenance supervisor, most likely this is something you probably didn't have to deal with as much as a tech or as a grounds or porter or in another position at the property. Most emergencies that occur at that property will be something that will most likely fall into the maintenance side more than the office side regarding responsibility. This is why as a maintenance supervisor, you're going to have a big role to play when it comes to preparing your entire team for emergencies. Ensure your team is ready for storms, water leaks, electrical failures, and anything else that can come up when someone is on call or after hours or the weekend will be crucial to this part of the process. You always want to make sure you prepare your team with an emergency plan, a list of contacts as far as vendors to get a hold of after hours or during those emergencies. You want to also make sure that everyone in your entire team has an updated contact list for staff members. This is going to be a vital part to ensure that they're emergency ready. You're going to want to make sure the staff has a list of vendors like roofers, like restoration companies, and in addition, lock and key companies. Welcome back to Property Management 101. For those of you that are new here, please allow me to introduce you to our community. This channel is dedicated to discussing best practices, offering valuable tips, and sharing tricks that are tailored specifically to the property management industry. You may have noticed there is an abundance of podcasts, channels, and websites out there providing information that's related to the property management industry. However, much of this content is focused on catering to investors and to property owners really maximizing their investments. Here's where we stand out. Our channel is created with you, the individuals in the trenches, in mind. We are here to support those that are actively involved in managing properties, ensuring that not only your efforts are worthwhile, but also highly effective. So whether you're a seasoned professional or you're new to the property management industry, you've come to the right place. Join us as we dive into proven practices for the property management industry, and we'll be discussing many different types of demographic and asset types in the property management industry. Thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to engaging with you on this exciting journey in the property management space. The 5th tip that you should keep in mind as a first-time maintenance supervisor that you're going to have a bigger hand in is you're going to have to make sure that you're ready for that budget management. As a new maintenance supervisor, you're going to have a much bigger role when it comes to that ongoing budget management that you're going to have a part of. As a maintenance supervisor, you're going to be in charge of helping putting it together, managing it, and answer ongoing things regarding the budget as far as variances, things that maybe we didn't spend money on, or capital items. Ensuring you're following the budget and you're providing those variance reasons will be new to you as a maintenance supervisor. Tracking expenses, collecting quotes is all going to be a part of your part of the process that you may not have had a hand in prior. And ensuring that you have good budget success is really going to be a long-term effect that's going to have that huge impact on the financial health of that property. If you're enjoying this video and you're learning something new, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for future videos. And the 6th thing when it comes to tips for first-time maintenance supervisors, you want to make sure you have preventive maintenance planning. This is going to be crucial to prevent any large expenses from occurring that could have been avoided with proper planning. This is going to be an important aspect of your job to prevent any major breakdowns and costly repairs. As a maintenance supervisor, you're going to be in charge of ongoing inspections, ongoing service things that you may have with certain equipment at your property to make sure they don't void the warranty of that particular item, and ensuring things are replaced in a timely manner. Some of the things you want to consider when it comes to this is scheduling inspections in the units. This gives you and your maintenance team an opportunity to look at these units, look at these HVAC units, see if they need a coil cleaning, inspect the air filters, seeing if they need to be replaced. If you work at a rental unit with a resident's responsible for replacing, that's something that if they have not replaced it and needs to be replaced, that's something that you want to make sure you let the office staff know so they can contact the resident. Or if it's something that as the landlord you're responsible for, that you make sure you go ahead and change that air filter if it's needed. Another thing to keep in mind when it comes to these inspections is what time of year that you're going to be performing these inspections. For you and your maintenance team, you got to find these pockets during the course of the year that is going to minimize the interruption for residents, that also is best for you and your team as far as that preventative maintenance aspect. So maybe you want to inspect your units in the spring or in the fall and conduct a semi-annual inspection. I've been involved with teams that do it quarterly. It really depends on your property and what that property particularly needs as far as how often those inspections should occur. For the fall example, you may want to be checking things that are insulation. So for the fall inspection, one thing it's a good thing to keep in mind is you may want to inspect things like doors, windows, ensuring they're locking correctly, opening and closing correctly, the sealers are working correctly, and there's no gaps where it could prevent anything when it comes to pests or inefficient or overworked AC or HVAC units. So these are some of the things you want to keep in mind when it comes to your inspection as far as geared towards maybe the seasonality of your property and the weather. For a video recap today, keep in mind these 3 additional points when it comes to things you should consider as a first-time maintenance supervisor. Number 4, energy preparedness. So you want to make sure you have a good plan for you and the entire team. Remember, most emergencies are going to involve the maintenance staff more than they are the office staff. So even if your office staff and maintenance staff share some duties on on-call shifts, you want to make sure your maintenance team is ready for those on-call moments and everyone has a good list of vendors that's saved into their phones so they can easily contact them if needed. Number 5, you're going to have a much bigger piece and a much bigger role when it comes to that budget management. So you're probably going to be responsible for things like appliance repair, vendor cost. There's going to be a lot of list of items that your property manager or your regional manager will provide to you that you'll be in charge of from an expense and income standpoint. And 6th, you want to make sure that you have a preventative maintenance planning as part of your day-to-day. So what are some things you're keeping your eye on? Or how often are you inspecting certain things? Or how often are you conducting inspections at your property? What are you looking at when you're going to those units to inspect them on a regular basis? This is going to be really important to avoid any costly repairs and any units or equipment that could be avoided as far as having a downtime because they're broken down. You want to make sure you're proactive when it comes to this and your entire team knows this plan. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for future videos. Before putting any of these practices into place, please watch our updated disclosure video as well as our updated why we do this video, which is the channel's why. And I'll be providing a link to both of those in the video description. And to stay on top of industry news, polls, and video releases, please feel free to connect with our LinkedIn and our Instagram page. If you have any questions about this video or any of our videos, feel free to leave a comment. I'll be happy to address it for you. Happy leasing!